Good morning, student. Now, our next topic of chapter number 8 is bones. Bone is a substance that forms the skeleton of the body. It is composed chiefly of calcium phosphate and calcium carbonate. Muscles pull against bones to make the body move. In simple words, the heart, largely calcareous connective tissue, of which the adult skeleton of most vertebrates is chiefly composed, is known as bone. Functions of bones. Some of the important functions of the bones are provide protection. Some of the soft and delicate organs of the body, such as skull and pelvis, are protected by the bones. Provide support. Bones are main organ of the body. They support the whole human body. Bony system serves for the attachment of muscles. The surface for the attachment of the skeletal muscles are provided by the bony system. They attach the soft parts and maintain them in position. They give stability to the whole human body. Bony system gives shape to the human body. Bones play a major role in shaping up human body. Act as a lever. Bones also act as a lever in our body. By their help, we can do our work easily. Passive instruments of locomotion. Bones play an important role for our movements as they are passive instruments of locomotion. Storage of mineral and fat. Blood cell formation. Most blood cell formation occur in the marrow cavities of certain bones. Classification of bones. Bones are of various types. According to shape and formation, they are described below as like short bones, long bones, flat bones, sesamoid bones, irregular bones. The first type is long bones. Long bone, one that is cylindrical in shape, being longer than it is wide. Long bones are found in arms and legs, as well as in the fingers and toes. The upper and lower limbs consist of long bones. These bones act as a lever in a human body and help in making movement possible. Long bones move when muscles contract. Long bones such as humerus, femur consist of a soft and two extremities each. Long bones are so called only due to their length. The another type of bones are short bones. Short bone is one that is cube-like in shape. Bones which are short in length are called short bones, being approximately equal in length, width and thickness. The only short bones in the human skeleton are the carpals of the wrist and the tarsals of the ankles. Short bones provide stability and support as well as some limited motions. The next topic is joints of bones. When two or more bones of the skeleton come in a union, then it is called a joint. Joints are the areas where two or more bones meet. Most joints are mobile, allowing the bones to move. The study of joints is called arthrology. A joint or an articulation of the bones is sometimes separated by a thin membrane, sometimes by connective tissue or fibrocartilage, and in the freely moving joints are commonly separated. Types of joints. According to the amount of movement and their structural composition, joints can be classified in three types as immovable joint or fixed joint, slightly movable joint or fibrous joint, freely movable joints or synovial joints. Immovable joints are also known as fibrous joints because the bones are connected by fibrous tissues. These joints are joined together with dense connective tissues called fixed joints because little movement is possible. These joints are fixed and do not move. These are found in the bones of skull and face. Cartilaginous joints are also known as slightly movable joints. In cartilaginous joints, bones are united together by a plate of hyaline cartilage Cartilaginous joints, leg joints, cavity, they are slightly movable or immobile. In this type of joints, surface of bones are separated by some substances and they can make only slight movement. They are of two varieties. First is synchondrosis. It is a primary slightly movable joint where hyaline cartilage completely joins together two bones. Synchondrosis are different than symphysis. It is a temporary or permanent joint. A temporary synchondrosis is an epiphyseal plate of growing long bones. Permanent synchondrosis does not ossify with the age. It retains its hyaline cartilage. Permanent synchondrosis function to connect bone without movement as a synethrosis joint. The chief function of synchondrosis is to permit growth of bone but not movement. A synchondrosis is eventually replaced by bone. When large bone stop growth, body growth stop, the cartilage disappears and is replaced by bone, forming synostosis and fusing the bony components together into the single hip bone of the adult. Example: sternoclavicular joint. The another type of slightly movable joint is symphysis. A symphysis is a joint in which the body of one bone meets the body of another. When two long bony surfaces are connected in a joint by broad flat disc of fibrocartilage, it is known as symphysis joint. The another type of joints are freely movable joints. These joints are also called synovial joints. A human body have most of the joints in this type. Some synovial joints may have meniscus, which is a hard cartilage pad, act as a cushion between the bone ends. Example: knee. The adjacent of the bones are covered with a cartilage known as hyaline cartilage. They are surrounded by a fibrous articular capsule, which is strengthened by the ligaments, tendons of muscles pass over these joints and play an important role in stabilizing the joints. The opposing bones are provided a smooth surface by the hyaline cartilage. They are lubricated by the synovial fluid. Such joint can be classified in 6 categories. First is gliding joints. Joints which permit only gliding movements are called gliding joints. In these joints, the articular surface of bone, it looks flat and move on the another bone in slipping movement. These joints are found in the carpal bones of the wrist and between tarsal bone of the ankle. The another type is hinge joints. Joints which permit angular movement in one direction are called hinge joints. The articular surface are pulley shaped. This type of joints permits movement in one plane around a transverse axis. The movements of these joints are called extensions and flexions. These are known as humerus and ulna in the knee and ankle joints respectively. These joints have strong collateral ligaments to prevent other movements. The next is condyloid joints. Joints which allow angular movements in two directions are called condyloid joints. Example: wrist joints. This is allows for movement in all directions, however full rotation. The another type of joint is pivot joint. Joints with a rotary movements in one axis are called pivot joints. Rotation around a vertical axis is allowed movement in one plane. A pivot-like process rotates within a ring being formed of bones and cartilage. Another type is saddle joints. Joints which permits a great movement are called saddle joints. The articular surfaces are reciprocally saddle-shaped. There is concavo-convex. This unique articulation is modified condyloid joints that allow a wide range of movement. An example would be the joint between the trapezium and metacarpal bones of the thumb, sternoclavicular joint. Joint of thumb is also an example of saddle joints. It enables the thumb to oppose the fingers. The last type is ball and socket joints having an angular movement as well as pivot movements are called ball and socket joints. Ball and socket joint consist of a bone with a ball-shaped head that attached with a cup-shaped cavity of another bone. This type of joint allow for a wider range of motions than any other kind. It permits movement in all planes and rotational movement around the central axis. Two examples of this type of joints would be the hip shoulder joints and incudostapedial joint.